Chosen one, the air around you is heavy tonight, almost electric, as if the universe itself is leaning in, whispering truths only you were meant to hear. The next 24 hours are not ordinary hours. They are hours stitched with urgency, with hidden signals, with divine warnings that press against your spirit like thunder waiting to break. Something in your soul already knows it. There is no more waiting, no more delaying. You are standing at the edge of a moment that could reshape everything. God is saying, pay attention. The next 24 hours are critical. And when you hear this, it should shake you not with fear, but with reverence. Because what is coming is not random. It is written. You're not here by accident. You've been guided to this moment because your spirit has been searching for confirmation, and this is it. This is where you release your heart's deepest wish into the current of the universe. In the comments below, write your warmest wishes and seal them with the number 99. This is not a game. It is a declaration. When you write it, you are sending a signal that heaven and earth cannot ignore. And listen carefully. If your spirit woke up while listening, don't scroll away. Like this video. Subscribe now. You belong here. This is not just a channel. It is your home, your reminder, your divine checkpoint. Make your voice heard. Write 99 and let the energy respond. There is something extraordinary about the next 24 hours. It is not simply about time on a clock. It is about alignment in eternity. God's warning is not meant to paralyze you, but to sharpen you, to break the fog, to pull you back from distraction. Think of how many times you almost missed the signs, how many times your heart whispered and you ignored it. This is not one of those times. The next 24 hours are critical because windows open and close, opportunities appear and vanish, and energy flows where attention is given. If you ignore this, you may never recover what was meant for you. If you embrace it, you could shift into a life that feels almost unrecognizable from where you stand right now. Do not underestimate the urgency of this moment. The signals are already around you. The unusual dreams, the heavy feeling in your chest, the repeating numbers you keep seeing, the sudden restlessness that makes you feel like something is about to happen. These are not coincidences, they are alarms, God's alarms. And when He sets them off, you cannot afford to stay asleep. This is why your spirit is uneasy, because something is being demanded of you in the next 24 hours, something that requires your attention, your courage, and your willingness to act. Chosen one, the question is not whether something will shift. It already has. The question is whether you will step into it or let it pass you by. The next 24 hours are a crossing, a test, a refining fire that wants to burn away what no longer belongs to you. You must be alert. You must be awake. You must be willing to listen, because God does not repeat Himself forever. When He says this is critical, it means there are consequences tied to your response. And deep down, you already know what He's asking you to face. The silence before a storm is always deceptive, chosen one. You look around, and everything seems normal. The same sky, the same routine, the same people passing by. But deep underneath, forces are moving, decisions are being prepared, and unseen hands are arranging what will come to the surface in the next 24 hours. God does not speak lightly. When He says these hours are critical, it means the unseen is about to press itself into the seen. It means What has been concealed will be revealed. You cannot afford to dismiss the weight of this moment as coincidence. Think of your life as a book. Each chapter has led you here, to this very page, to this very line. And now this chapter will either break open the story you were meant to live, or lock you into a cycle you were never meant to repeat. That is why the urgency feels so heavy. The next 24 hours are not just about what you will see, but about what you will choose. Will you step into the courage of your calling, or will you shrink back into silence? Will you respond to God's tug on your soul, or will you pretend you didn't hear it? The choices you make now will echo into days, weeks, and years ahead. Chosen one, do not confuse stillness with safety. Sometimes the lack of noise is the most dangerous sign. Heaven is quiet when a test is laid before you. Hell is quiet when it thinks you're too distracted to notice the trap. And in these next hours, both heaven and hell will be watching your response. That's why God is shaking you awake. Because your decision is not just about you. It's about the ripple that will affect your family, your destiny, your generations. This is why your chest feels heavy, why your nights feel restless, why the ordinary no longer satisfies you. You are being called to rise above the noise. The universe is aligned in a way that doesn't happen often. Patterns are colliding, signals are pointing, energy is shifting. And in that alignment lies both danger and opportunity. God says, pay attention, because distractions will try to pull you off course, and if you are not alert, you may lose sight of the sign you've been praying for. In the next 24 hours, the temptation to fall back into old habits, old fears, and old cycles will be strong. But remember, the moment before breakthrough always feels like unbearable pressure. That pressure is not here to destroy you, it is here to mark you. Chosen one, the clock is ticking. But this is not about fear. It is about readiness. It is about recognizing that what you've been asking for, what you've been crying for, may not come dressed the way you expect. The answer may come disguised as a test. The opportunity may appear in a form that requires faith to recognize. And if you are not alert, you will walk past it without even realizing it. God is saying, sharpen your eyes, steady your heart, and prepare your spirit. The next 24 hours are critical, not because He is against you, but because He is setting you up for the very shift you were created for. Chosen one, imagine standing on a bridge at midnight, the wind tearing through the silence, the water raging beneath you. On one side is the life you've always known, predictable, comfortable, but stagnant. On the other side is the unknown, uncertain, dangerous, but full of possibility. God is saying the next 24 hours are the crossing. This is not a time to linger on the bridge. This is not a time to stare at the waters below and question if you're ready. The critical moment has arrived, and hesitation is its own form of failure. There comes a point in every life when the ordinary breaks apart, a point where God says, enough. You cannot keep walking in circles. That moment is here. You felt the cracks forming in your spirit, conversations that suddenly felt empty, environments that no longer fit, relationships that revealed more truth than you were prepared to face. These are not accidents. They are the evidence that God has been preparing you for this exact hour. In the next 24 hours, things will intensify, and you will be asked to choose between who you were and who you must become. Do not mistake this as punishment. It is a calling. When heaven sees a chosen one asleep, storms will come to wake them. And that's why the turbulence in your life has grown louder, why your peace has been tested, why your inner world feels like it's on fire. It's not because you're abandoned. It's because you're being refined. Gold only shines after it survives the fire, and your destiny is no different. The flames of the next 24 hours will reveal what cannot burn, and that is where your true self will stand. Chosen one, you cannot go back to who you were yesterday. That version of you no longer fits the future waiting on the other side of this moment. The next 24 hours are critical because they demand that you strip off the weight of fear, doubt, and hesitation. You cannot carry those things into your destiny. They will not survive the fire. If you hold on to them, you will suffocate under the very pressure that was meant to elevate you. But if you release them, you will discover a freedom that will terrify your enemies and astonish even you. The next 24 hours will not simply test your faith, they will test your vision. Can you see beyond what is in front of you? Can you believe that the pain you feel right now is not a wall but a doorway? Can you trust that God's urgency is not cruelty but protection? These are the questions hanging in the air, and they cannot be answered with words. They must be answered with action. Every choice you make in these hours is a declaration to the universe. I am awake. I am ready. I am chosen. And once you declare that, the universe responds. Chosen one, when lightning splits the sky, it does not apologize for the thunder that follows. The same is true for what is about to unfold in your life. The next 24 hours are not a gentle suggestion from God. They are a divine command written in energy, pulsing through your spirit whether you acknowledge it or not. You have felt the heaviness, the tug, the strange alignment of signs around you. This is not your imagination. This is the Creator calling your name with urgency. Ignore it, and the storm will still come. But you will not be standing in the place you were meant to stand. The weight of destiny is not light. That's why you've been restless, why you've carried burdens that others cannot see, why even your laughter sometimes felt hollow. The next 24 hours are designed to expose the truth. Are you carrying what is yours, or are you still dragging what God has asked you to leave behind? You cannot run into the future holding onto the chains of the past. This moment is critical because it is the line between bondage and freedom, between delay and destiny. Think of the voices that have tried to silence you, the doubts that have eaten at your confidence, the failures that have whispered, "Stay small." These voices are loudest right before breakthrough. Why? Because darkness always senses when light is about to break through. That is why the opposition has been fierce. That is why distractions have multiplied. That is why in the quiet of the night, your chest has felt heavy, as if carrying a weight that cannot be explained. It is the spiritual battle of the 24 hours God called critical. Chosen one, hear me. You cannot afford to numb yourself. You cannot drown this urgency in noise, in habits, in shallow pleasures. To do so is to trade your divine appointment for temporary relief. And once these 24 hours are gone, they will never come back. That's what makes them dangerous and holy at the same time. Every hour carries within it the possibility of a sign, a word, a confirmation, or a test. If you're awake, you will recognize it. If you are distracted, you will miss it. The difference will shape the entire course of your future. The next 24 hours may feel heavy, but they are not meant to crush you. They are meant to crown you. Pressure does not come to destroy the chosen. It comes to reveal them. Diamonds form under the weight of the earth. Stars are born in the chaos of collapsing galaxies. Your story is no different. This is not the hour to shrink. This is the hour to stand, to believe, to declare, to move with boldness, even if your knees tremble. God has marked these hours as critical because they are the intersection of your past and your promise. Do not step back now. Chosen one, there are moments when time itself seems to lean forward, holding its breath, waiting for your decision. That is what the next 24 hours are. They are not just ticking minutes. They are charged with divine electricity. Every second carries a choice, and every choice carries a ripple. The world around you may not notice, but heaven and earth are watching closely. You are not invisible in this moment. You are the focus of attention. That is why the urgency in your soul has been so loud, why you cannot shake the feeling that something must shift now. The truth is, you have already been prepared for this. The trials you faced, the heartbreaks you endured, the loneliness you walked through, they were not wasted. They were sharpening your senses for hours like these. The next 24 hours are critical because they will reveal whether you learned from those battles or whether you allowed them to break you. God does not waste pain. He transforms it into vision, courage, and strength. But only if you are willing to see beyond the wound and recognize the purpose hidden inside it. Chosen one, do not underestimate yourself. You are far stronger than you've been made to believe. The world tried to label you, to silence you, to confine you. But here you are, standing on the edge of destiny with your spirit awake. This is no accident. You were chosen to carry this fire, to hold this responsibility, to face this critical moment with faith instead of fear. That's why you feel the weight. It is not crushing you. It is crowning you. And when God crowns you, no one can remove it. The next 24 hours are a mirror. They will reflect the truth of your heart, the clarity of your faith, and the courage of your soul. If you step forward with boldness, doors will open. If you shrink back, the moment may close, and you will feel the ache of what could have been. This is not to scare you. It is to wake you. You cannot approach this time casually. You must lean in with your whole being, because what happens in these hours will echo far beyond them. You are not being asked to be perfect. You are being asked to be present. Present enough to notice the signs. Present enough to act on the opportunities. Present enough to silence fear and hear the whisper of God's direction. That's why he says, pay attention, because the gift of this time can only be received by those who are awake. Chosen one, you are being summoned to rise higher, to walk sharper, to embrace the fire that has been burning inside you all along. Chosen one, there is a reason the air feels different, why the hours ahead seem to hum with a strange vibration. The next 24 hours are a threshold, and you are standing at its edge. Beyond it lies a version of your life that looks nothing like the one behind you. That is why the pressure feels unbearable, why the urgency will not leave you alone. Heaven does not stir you without cause. This is not noise. This is signal. God is shaking the atmosphere because something in you must awaken now. Think about all the times you brushed aside the tug in your spirit, telling yourself you would act later. Later is gone. There is no later. These hours demand your attention because delay will cost you more than you realize. Opportunities can pass, relationships can shift, and doors can close when you fail to step forward. That is why the weight of these next 24 hours is unlike anything you've felt before. It is not meant to crush you. It is meant to catapult you. But you must be ready to move when the moment arrives. Do not let fear become your interpreter. Fear will always whisper that you are not ready, that you will fail, that you should wait for safer ground. But chosen ones are never called into safety. They are called into fire. Fire is the birthplace of destiny. Fire is the test that separates the ordinary from the chosen. And in the next 24 hours, you will walk through fire. But if you dare to face it, you will find that the flames do not consume you. They reveal you. Chosen one. This urgency is not about punishment. It is about preparation. God does not warn you to frighten you. He warns you to position you. These hours are not a curse. They are a gift wrapped in disguise. The universe is bending in your direction, shifting the pieces into alignment. But alignment without awareness is wasted. You must notice it. You must respond to it. You must refuse to sleep through the alarm of your own destiny. These 24 hours are not random. They are appointed. And you, whether you feel ready or not, have been chosen to carry the weight of them. That's why your heart beats harder right now, why your mind cannot shake the thought that change is near. You are not wrong. The shift is here. It is waiting for your response. Chosen one, the question is not if God will move. It is whether you will be awake enough to move with him. Chosen one, picture a clock striking midnight. The world outside is quiet, but your soul is anything but. The ticking you hear is not just time, it is destiny counting down. The next 24 hours are loaded with purpose, packed with meaning, and carved out for revelation. That is why you cannot shake the feeling that everything around you is trembling, that something unseen is pressing against the fabric of your reality. This is no ordinary day. This is a divine appointment, and you have been summoned to show up for it. The urgency in your spirit is proof that heaven has marked this hour. You have been through storms, betrayals, silent seasons, and moments when you thought the voice of God had gone quiet. But now, suddenly, the weight is back. The fire is burning. The signs are flashing. Why? Because the next 24 hours are not just critical. They are decisive. What you do in this space will shape the road ahead in ways you cannot yet see. The ripples will not stop at you. They will touch the lives connected to you, the generations waiting on you, the doors that only your obedience can open. Chosen one, understand this. Critical hours are not meant to be comfortable. They demand attention because they carry tests disguised as opportunities and opportunities disguised as tests. That is why confusion may rise, why emotions may surge, why you may feel torn between what feels safe and what feels right. Do not be deceived. Safety is not always obedience, and risk is not always danger. The line between the two is thin, but if you stay alert, God will show you which way to walk. The voices around you may try to drown out what you feel inside. Some will say you're overthinking. Some will say nothing is happening, but your spirit knows better. You have been chosen to hear what others cannot, to see what others overlook. That is why the weight is on you and not on them. The burden of the chosen one is heavy, but it is holy. And these next 24 hours will show you just how set apart you truly are. Do not waste these hours. Do not numb yourself with distractions. Do not ignore the signs flashing in front of you. Stay awake. Stay sensitive. Stay aligned. For what you choose now will not only define this day, it will define the next season of your life. Chosen one, pay attention. The hour has struck, and the critical moment is already unfolding around you. Chosen one, the atmosphere around you is charged, as if the unseen world is holding its breath. Every thought feels louder, every emotion sharper, every decision heavier. That is not by accident. The next 24 hours have been set apart, carved out of time itself as a testing ground for your spirit. You are not walking through ordinary hours. You are walking across a battlefield disguised as a day. That's why your chest feels heavy, why your dreams are vivid, why your heart will not let you rest. The universe is pressing in because your response is critical. Think about how far you've come. Every scar, every wound, every sleepless night has been leading you here. The struggles were not meant to break you. They were rehearsals for this exact moment. And now, God is saying, watch closely. Pay attention, because what you will encounter in these hours may not look like destiny at first glance. It may come in the form of a challenge that forces you to grow, a decision that terrifies you, a release that feels painful. But hidden inside it will be the shift you've been praying for. Do not miss it. The critical hours always hide their treasure. If you only look with your eyes, you will overlook it. You must look with your spirit. The answers you've been seeking may not arrive with trumpets. They may whisper in silence, or show up in a small, ordinary moment that others dismiss. But for you, it will be confirmation, a sign that God has heard every cry, every prayer, every wish. That's why you must stay awake. These hours are holy ground. Chosen one, understand the weight of delay. When you hesitate, you hand over ground to forces that do not want to see you rise. But when you act, when you trust, when you step forward even while trembling, the ground itself shifts in your favor. That is why God is calling you now, not tomorrow, not someday, but in this exact space of time. The next 24 hours are not just about survival. They are about acceleration. They will carry you faster than you thought possible if you respond with faith. You are being refined, and refinement is never easy. But diamonds are made in pressure, stars are born in collapse, and chosen ones are revealed in critical hours. This is your proving ground. The universe is waiting for your move. Heaven is listening for your response, and the earth itself will bear witness to what you decide. Do not shrink back. Stand tall. Stay awake. The critical moment is already upon you, and your spirit has been chosen to carry it. Chosen one. The final hour is here. The next 24 hours are not simply a passing of time. They are a divine countdown, a sacred test, a moment sealed with urgency and destiny. You have felt the tremors in your soul, the restless energy in your body, the undeniable pull that something greater is unfolding. This is not your imagination. This is God saying, pay attention. Do not drift. Do not sleep. Do not waste what I am giving you. Every second ahead is alive with meaning. The universe is leaning in to see if you will rise to the occasion. This is the part of your journey that separates those who hear from those who respond. It is not enough to feel the urgency. You must act on it. In the next 24 hours, you will be given signs, tests, and opportunities. Some will scare you. Some will challenge you. Some will force you to choose between what is safe and what is right. That is why these hours are critical. They are the refining fire, the sharpening blade, the proving ground of your destiny. You cannot afford to numb yourself, to scroll past, to silence the voice that has been echoing in your spirit. The alarms are ringing because heaven has set the stage for a turning point. Chosen one, let this be the hour you refuse to shrink. Let this be the moment you say, I will not sleep through my calling. I will not waste what has been placed in my hands. I will not let fear write the story of my life. The pressure you feel is not a curse. It is a crown being placed on your head. The urgency is not meant to crush you. It is meant to confirm you. And when the world looks back, they will say this was the moment everything shifted, the night you refused to ignore the call, the day you stepped into the fire and came out shining like gold. The next 24 hours are critical, not because you are weak, but because you are chosen. Not because you are forgotten, but because you are marked. Not because you are lost, but because you are about to be revealed. Pay attention, stay awake, lean in, for this is not the end of your story. It is the breaking open of a new chapter. And when the sun rises after these hours, the world will not see the same you. They will see the chosen one who listened, who responded, who rose when it mattered most.